Hey, Mark. Nice to see you.
Hey, how are you, man?
Really good, man. How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Is it just about, let me just get this one text in and I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, I want to thank you for being here, Mark. We've known each other through mostly through gratitude, and from what I've seen of you, you're just really generous contribution. From the comments on the post yesterday, it looks like your kids are really excited for this interview.
Maybe more than I am. I don't know.
I think so. They probably think you're on the spot or something, which you're not. So I
Oh,
want you to be
God.
totally comfortable.
Uh,
Um, how long you been a father for?
oh my God, my daughter's almost, what's she, 29 years old, I think?
Wow.
Yep. Hmm.
Do you find that you're still a father even today? I mean, obviously things change.
Always, always, man, always a father. It's like once a father, always a father, you know?
You took on the for life commitment.
That's it. I don't think it ever ends. I don't think it ever ends.
How's the being a father impacted you?
How's it impacted me? Oh my God. Um, I would say that, I always wanted to be a father, when I was a younger man to get married and have kids. It's made me personally, I think, um, a better person, a stronger person, it's taught me like a lot. It's taught me a lot being a parent. So I don't think anything in life has taught me as much as being a parent. It taught me how to be patient. It's taught me how to be, you know, loving and compassionate, and it's taught me how to be kind, and boy, patience keeps coming up.
I wonder why that's so.
Oh my God, yes.
So you really learned patience. It sounds like you got a lot of virtues. What has really shaped that? Was there any challenges along the way that put you in a position to have to learn all that?
Yeah, I'd say so. I've had my challenges with my children. They've both had their share of stuff growing up, that, you know, it challenged me as a parent. I mean, at the time, there were times that I got angry with them. There are times that, I'm like, oh God, how are we going to get through this? How are we going to handle this? And we always did, we always did, when they're young. Now that I look back, whatever challenges I dealt with seems so small. As they get older, I think the problems become more challenging. If like your kid goes out and drives and gets in an accident, or they have an issue at school or something like that, it seems to be that much bigger.
So the problems or the challenges grow, and it seems like you have to keep growing in lockstep with those challenges.
Totally. Totally.
Wow.
Yes. It's testing, it's testing me as a person, you know?
Wow.
So,
You
and we got through it all. We got through it all.
That's good. That's good. It seems like you have really great relationships with your kids. I don't know if part of that is the trainings and the work, or has it been that you guys really matured from some of those early challenges? What do you think gave you guys that relationship?
I think the training had a lot to do with it. It taught me how to speak to them. It taught me about how I was being with them. Sometimes I didn't realize or recognize, how I was being with them, if I was being judgmental or something like that. Um, there are times I simply didn't notice. I thought I was being right. I wasn't accepting of them, for who they were. And, um, then I realized that I I get to be accepting, of them, of who they are, and allow them, the space to grow and not bring my own personal um, feelings into the matter, that they should be this way or should be that way, or expectations, I guess you can say.
Yeah, so you really just opened yourself to supporting them in whatever way they wanted to direct their life rather than
Correct.
controlling it or forcing some.
Correct. And also learning how to ask questions rather than, to tell them how to do things. I said this before because the way I grew up was, my father used to tell me what to do and how to do it, and what was right and what was wrong, and I always thought that was the way to bring up my kids, is to, tell them this is right and this is wrong because I thought it was right, or wrong, rather than to ask them questions and to have them be creative and figure it out for themselves. And now I realize that's empowering, and I realize that that's so much more effective in bringing up kids, being able to ask them really powerful questions where they can figure it out, and as a parent, I'm there to guide them, and allow them to fall down, and it's okay to fall down and sometimes get hurt a little bit, as long as it's not super dangerous or anything like that. But, you know, I learned to let them fall down, you know?
Wow, sounds like you over the years you've learned effective communication with like asking these questions, and then there's also like a level of just allowing life to teach them that it's not as much in your hands now that they're older, that they can just go through their journey and you can just be there as a loving support as they go through it.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I knew some of those things early on, because I think early on, to ask kids questions, it doesn't matter how old they are, to be curious and to have them um, try things and see how it works for them. And then to be able to come back and kind of rehash how things went and what worked well for them. What do you think didn't work well for you? And so how are you going to handle this the next time, type of thing. I wish I had some of those tools when the kids were young, but it is what it is. And you know it worked out perfectly the way it was. So
Would you say some of those early challenges wound up teaching both you and your kids some good lessons down the road?
oh, for sure. For sure. Yes, yes. You're not a parent yet, so when you get there, and it's funny because there's a lot of people out there who aren't parents who will try to tell you what to do and how to bring up your kids. Boy, it's way different when you're actually in the trenches. It's not.
Seems like from the various people I've talked to today, there's not one path and there's no right or wrong way to do it.
No, there isn't. And if there was, there'd be one book and everybody'd read the same book and everybody'd bring up the kids the same way, and it would be perfect. Not the case. Every kid is different. So you allow them their individuality, and you try things and see how they work, and you work with them, because like I said, there is no one book to tell you this is how you bring up your kids.
Yeah, and my dad tells me that all the time. He said, "You guys didn't come with the instruction manual."
Yep, that's the truth.
um, did your relationship with your father impact your parenting role with your kids? What was
Oh,
that
for
dynamic?
sure, for sure. My father was, I guess you consider it, old school. He'd tell me and my brothers, what to do and how to do it, and if we were doing it the right way or the wrong way. It didn't come through questions. It came through orders. And, I know my dad did the best he could do, with the tools that he had. And I brought up my kids very similarly until I started learning that it's not as effective as being able to allow them to work their own path, rather than to create their path, let them work their own path.
Wow. I guess that's why we're talking, is because you took up the work and you saw an opportunity to change something for the better.
Yeah. And it's interesting when I talk to people about it who have younger kids, and I talk to them about asking their children questions at the level that they are, and some of them come back to me and tell me how effective it was, how it worked like super well, how their kid was behaving in a certain way or acting a certain way, and when they asked them questions and said, "Hey, go try it out, see how it works," and come back to me and let's talk about it. And it opens the lines for communication. It allows them to be open, in being able to figure things out on their own. And I think kids feel empowered that way.
Yeah, it sounds like, this has been a recurring theme today, is how important communication is in the relationship, which I guess I see communication as important everywhere, but particularly it seems as a parent, you can either empower or you could disempower by the words alone.
Yeah, I think disempowerment is enablement, when we disempower our kids. So I don't know. I'm learning every day. And I also think it's important to be able to listen to your kids without jumping in and judging them. I mean, it still happens to me at times, and sometimes I'm not aware of it, and my kids will make me aware of it. They'll tell me, you know, um, especially my daughter. She's really good at that. My intention as a parent is always to have the best for my kids, but sometimes I don't realize that, some of the things I might say are not always the best, and I'm not aware of that, in that moment.
Of
So,
course.
especially if I tell my kids, you should have done this or you should have done that, um, that brings up like, well, I'm doing it wrong, you know, and it's not for me to judge that, that's my interpretation.
Sounds like you're really humble, though. You're willing to look at things, you're willing to acknowledge and give up. I mean, give up those points of view. So I sense that you've got a really good way with your kids that wasn't, I guess, there in the beginning, but you've evolved to really
Oh yeah.
having it be super healthy.
I think it's a heck of a lot better than it ever was, and it's getting better every day. Look, we have our moments at times, when we're at each other's throats, but we always get through it.
That's beautiful. What do you think, based on everything you've learned, someone who doesn't have kids or wants to have kids or is a young father starting off on this journey, what do you think people should know and what to expect?
Um, I don't know if you should expect anything, you know. Deal with it as it comes, love your children, let them know how much you love them. Um, be accepting of who they are. Be compassionate. I've learned a lot of that, and I've learned what it means to be loving and compassionate, with my kids. And I, allow them to be independent and to be who they are and who they want to be, rather than me trying to think about, this is how they should be. So I think that's important. I think that's a lot of times um, what causes trouble between parents and children is that, many parents are not accepting of who their children are, you know, and they want them to be something else rather than what they are.
Wow. Has there been any part of this that's like involved a spiritual path for you, as far as either for yourself or instilling a part of a spiritual walk for your kids?
Well, both of them have gone through, some spiritual training. My daughter actually is now a trainer, in spiritual um, growth and development. So I can't wait to see her as a trainer. That'd be amazing. She's great at the training and understands it really well, and is very effective as a coach. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And my son has used it training in his life, to where it's gotten him from where he was to where he is now. And it's helped him in terms of landing like really good jobs, and having a girlfriend. And, he's learned how to speak to her, and he's still learning, of course. We talk about it, especially if he has something going on with his girlfriend, we talk about it. So, you know, um, we communicate, which is awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's really simple and clear, Mark. I mean, I really just hear it as just straight what being a good father is in terms of love, communication, allowing them to have their own path. And I think those are all leadership qualities right there.
I agree. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I don't really have any other questions. Is there anything else you wanted to share that you feel, people should know about this journey, this path, or anything about you that you feel compelled to share? Or maybe even so, actually, I do have a question. What are you most proud of as a father?
I'm proud of how my kids turned out, and I think they're amazing, and they're great kids, and I'm proud of them, and what they've become and who they are. They're both great human beings, so um, they know how to treat other people, and they're both givers, and I'm super proud of both of my children. So I love them both.
I'm blessed.
And I have to say, my daughter always wants me to say that I'm her favorite, my favorite. And I keep telling her she's my favorite daughter. And she is.
Oh gosh. But it's never enough. She wants to keep hearing it, right?
Yep.
Well, that's funny. I really enjoyed this conversation, Mark, and I feel we should definitely connect more soon. I know it's been a crazy amount of time since we reconnected, probably since
It's been a long while. Other than on Facebook, it's been a long while. So, yeah, I think we met about, 8 years ago, you said? 7 or 8 years ago?
it was 2012. It was 2012. So, yep,
Wow.
8 years.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a long time ago,
Well, time flies, I guess, when you're
Yeah.
having fun.
I'm having fun. I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
Having fun. Oh, yeah.
What's actually, I'll ask you, what's been the most fun part of this journey? Not just being a father, just in general, the last several years. What's been contributing to the level of enjoyment and satisfaction in your life?
Actually, it's more so over the last, 7 or 8 years. It's actually being in service to other people and watching them grow. I don't know if, people know this, but I probably get more out of that, and the satisfaction and the enjoyment and the fun in watching, especially younger people grow and develop, and start to shift their attitude about themselves and about their life and what they're accomplished and things like that. That gives me more joy than anything I can ever do. It's amazing to watch that.
Sorry, I'm muted. I don't know if you can hear. It's about to pour here. There's thunder beyond thunder where I am.
Yeah, it's happening here too.
Yeah, you're in Boca, right?
Yes, I am.
I'm in Boca right now as well. So we're in the same storm.
So,
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. The satisfaction of being in service is really a great gift to receive as a giver.
yeah, it's I I receive tremendous joy out of that. That's why I keep doing it. I don't think people realize it until they do it, and they're actually there watching people grow and start shifting out of, certain ways of seeing themselves and their life into new ways. And it's so amazing, that they start to realize what's possible for their lives.
Yeah, that's it. Once the possibilities start percolating and popping up, there's a whole new paradigm that opens up, and it's one of the most,
Totally.
it's like a rebirth.
Totally. It's awesome to watch. Awesome to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we could actually just plug gratitude training here. I mean, it was probably the first really transformational thing I did in my life. It just opened my heart and my mind up to so much amazing energy, and it started me on a journey that I will never regret for the rest of my life.
It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, likewise. Likewise.
Cool. Well, anything else you want to share before I let you go, Mark?
I don't believe so. I think I'm good.
Beautiful. Well, thank you.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Yes, happy Father's Day to you and
Thank you.
everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Take care. Thanks very
Take
much.
care, Mark. My pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.